My grandfather Arthur Allen Steinke was born in Wichita, Kansas in 1933. When he turned 21 in 1954, the Korean War was underway. At that time, there was a draft which meant any man could be called for service. My grandpa received his lottery drawing which told him what day to show up. Once he was picked, he was to prepare to leave for training. His family was very proud of his patriotism. His first stop was basic training in California. He stayed there for 21 months. During that time, he learned how to shoot a gun, which, at first, he had no idea how to use. The guns he was being trained to use were 120 millimeters long, and the shells were 12 inches. They were able to blow up planes. From California, he was sent to a base in Alaska. He was stationed in Alaska for 16 months. During his time in Alaska, his job was to shoot down planes from Russia if they were attacking. Luckily, Russia never did attack, and he never needed to use his guns. At least Russia didn't know how cold it gets in Alaska. The lowest it gets is 50 below zero. Since it was so cold, the guns and the plane engines would sometimes freeze up. My grandpa explained to me that they would have red alerts, where they would wake up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to man the guns.
The opposite on, say, July 4th. They play a game of baseball there at midnight without any lights.
Oh, fun.
So that's how light it stays. It's light in the summertime and real dark and cold in the wintertime.
In the summer, my grandpa would practice shooting in a huge field. Since summers are really beautiful in Alaska, they have lots of wildlife. My grandpa told me that a few times moose would sneak into the camp looking for food. Normally, it would be scary, but my grandpa said to me that he got used to them coming in. When my grandpa wasn't busy training, he was helping out his commander. His job would be to answer the phone calls and write down reports. He would do this until he was needed back at his post again. When his 16 months were up, my grandpa went back to the States. He said back to the States because in 1955 Alaska wasn't a state. By this time, his family had moved to Colorado, so he moved to join them, and he still lives there today. From interviewing my grandpa, I learned not just about Alaska or the Korean War. I learned things that my dad didn't know. I had fun learning more about my grandpa.